Well, as expected, Sony's PC push continues, with Spider-Man being the latest game from PlayStation Studios that will be heading to the PC platform. And it looks like this is continuing to accelerate now. And I wanted to talk a bit about where we're headed currently with PlayStation and PC. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button, helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Spawnwave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. Let's head over here to PlayStation Blog. This was the announcement post that they had. Marvel Spider-Man series is coming to PC. Here we have Insomniac Games talk about how things have gone with Spider-Man since release. 33 million copies globally, by the way. That as of May 15th, 2022. Remember, this Spider-Man series started under Sony in 2018. So it's been less than 4 years, and they've gotten to 33 million copies across the series, which is like mind-blowing stuff there. But it obviously shows how popular Spider-Man is just overall as an intellectual property. However, they do talk a bit about the PC release, specifically things like, oh, there's going to be mouse and keyboard support, which I don't really know why you would play a game like Spider-Man, that being like a third-person action adventure style game with a keyboard and mouse. That just seems like a game you would break out a controller of some kind, whether it is the DualSense, a DualShock 4, an Xbox controller, which it's kind of interesting to think about that, in that Spider-Man, which is going to go to Steam, would have Xbox button prompts on there, just because obviously it's been a PlayStation game this whole time. But either way, they also talk about how Nix's is helping with the port job, saying, we're grateful to our PlayStation Studios partner studio Nix's Software for fully optimizing Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales for PC. Our production team has been thrilled with Nix's collaborative spirit and commitment to quality. We see a lot of ourselves when working with Nix's. And I mean, the biggest thing is, it seems like Sony acquired Nix's and immediately put them on Spider-Man, getting this thing ported over. And that's what they were brought in for, is this future of PlayStation Studio games on PC. And I think the window, as I've been saying for a little while now, is going to continue to shrink. That being when it's released on PlayStation and when it's released on PC. In fact, I would keep an eye out for Returnal, because if Returnal shows up later this year, that'd be just over, what, a year or so since it launched on PlayStation. I think we're very quickly going to see one of these live service games launch day and date, that being on PlayStation 5 and on PC. And if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, none of this should surprise you. I mean, the Spider-Man announcement going to PC should have been expected at this point, because Sony realizes there's money to be made on the PC platform that would, in turn, hold up their massive budgets for some of these big-time games that they're producing. And I mean, what other Spider-Man games are on Steam? Are there any? Like, other than like Marvel's like Lego games, I guess? I can't think of any there. So, like, yeah, this Spider-Man game, it's going to go to PC. It's going to easily become the best-selling PlayStation Studios games to hit that platform ever. And I mean, Sony even went over this a bit with their investors during a presentation, and they even say themselves, exponential growth to be sustained by PC titles beyond fiscal year 22. And I mean, look, we see God of War making $26.2 million since it came out in January. Days Gone, not as popular as intellectual property as God of War. Horizon, still making $22.7 million. And then Horizon Zero Dawn selling almost 2.4 million copies on PC, netting them $60 million. And these are all games that have been out for a while, right? Years. So it's not like they released them immediately alongside of the PlayStation version of the game. So I think there's a lot of room to grow with some of these titles if Sony does want to shrink that window down, as I expect them to. But there is something I feel like they're exploring and would have to happen for them to do that, and that is basically bringing everything together under one umbrella or one ecosystem between PC, even mobile, and PlayStation. That has to do with a launcher, and I do believe Sony is working on one right now. A launcher being something you would download on your PC, similar to Steam, and you would buy the games from Sony directly through that. Now you look at Horizon Zero Dawn, right? And they outline this pretty well here. Almost 2.4 million copies sold, but $60 million. It seems like it would be more than that. However, there are sales on Steam. We all know this. Horizon Zero Dawn has been on sale before, but on top of that, there's a 30% cut to Valve. If you kind of work out the math overall without like the sales and stuff being brought into it, it's about $80 million or so. So some of the sales, yes, kicked off even more percentage points on top of the margins there. But if they instead had a launcher and they collect 100% of the sale, that is actually a lot more money they'd be making. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, a job listing was spotted for PlayStation Studios, a product management for PC game experiences, saying this role will be asked to take the lead on the overall PC gaming experiences for PlayStation, including the leadership and responsibility to implement and deliver to our players worldwide. Lead and evolve the PlayStation game experience roadmap for all game-related experiences, including SDK development, client application experiences, as PlayStation Network platform integration. I know there's generally a lot of pushback from the PC community for launchers outside of Steam, but Sony looks at their large games, these big AAA PlayStation Studio games, as having that kind of pull to where they could do a launcher. I mean, no one that I know seems to really like Battle.net launcher that much, but they'll have it on their computer because they want to play Activision or Blizzard games. Basically, if you have the games that are compelling enough, people will download the free application. But it'll go a bit further than that because Microsoft has at least figured out now how to charge PC players a subscription fee. And that's something that's been pretty difficult, I think, for these companies to work around. How can we bring PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold to PC where they're traditionally used to not having to pay to play online? They're not necessarily going to go that route because they can't. It's an open platform. But they could have these subscription services built on top of content like we see with Game Pass, where they can get recurring revenue from PC gamers. And Microsoft's been able to do that so far with Xbox Game Pass for PC, and they've been building it up as they've gone along. I kind of think Sony is going to start building that out with their own launcher, and they sort of already have an application that does remote play. I don't know if they're going to build that one specifically out, but I think they at least have a handle on how they can bring something like PlayStation Plus Extras or Premium to PC and figure out a way to get recurring revenue from PC gamers. That being, if they can build out a large enough library over the next 4 or 5 years, which is one of the reasons we're seeing these games start to get announced pretty quickly now. Uncharted isn't on PC yet, but we have the next one already announced for SpiderMan, and then we see Returnal and Sackboy kind of leak out, and I think those will be announced here in the coming months, and it's very quickly going to snowball because they want to build out this library for this application. But things have certainly changed at PlayStation since the PlayStation 4 era, haven't they? Before, it was unthinkable to consider Kratos being on PC, or now even Spider-Man when that came out on the PlayStation 4. But here we are, just like half a decade later, and they're going to PC. Kratos is already there. So, yeah, I think things are going to look even different 5 years from now when people will probably be complaining about having to download the PlayStation launcher in order to get some of these games. But let me know what you guys think about this one down below, with Sony going all in, it seems, on PC development and porting. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.